Good evening, and welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little. A little bit about myself: corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Brad Butler II. A little bit about him. Brad Butler II is the CEO and founder of Brad Butler II and Associates, LLC, a motivational speaker, author, coach, mentor, and athlete. His goal in life is to motivate, inspire, and empower people all around the world to live their dreams and put forth their best effort in everything they do. Brad, known to his friends as B-Rad, holds a bachelor's degree in business management from Kean University, despite being placed in special education classes as a kid. A few years after graduating from college, Brad discovered his gift of public speaking. He now spends his time traveling from school to school, empowering students and athletes, as well as consulting with companies to train employees on public speaking, leadership development, and team building. Brad's goal is to help others become the best versions of themselves and encourage everyone to take full advantage of their opportunities. Welcome to the table, the amazing Brad Butler II.
Oh, thank you very much.
You are welcome, Brad. I'm excited to have you at the table tonight to share your wisdom and knowledge with my listeners, and I'm sure they're going to learn a lot tonight, so thank you for coming to the table.
Absolutely. It's a humbling experience.
I love that. So please tell us more about your entrepreneurial journey.
Well, like you said in my bio, I didn't realize or believe that being a business owner was something that I could do, or being an entrepreneur was something that I could do, because it wasn't something that I saw. It wasn't something that I grew up around, or I didn't think that I was growing up around it. But I literally just took a lot of the information that I learned from my father, and to be completely honest, my father was an urban pharmacist, to say it the nicest way possible. And he basically, if you know anybody who is working in that capacity, they are business owners. They just don't realize it, and they're just not doing it in a legal fashion. So when I realized I had a gift for speaking, I wanted to turn it into a business. I asked my father what he did and how he did it, and I said, okay, well, how can I take those same principles and turn it into something that's legal, and turn it into something, where I'll be able to provide for myself and for my family using my gift. So I just wanted to flip everything that my father did that was negative and turn it into something positive. And that's how I ended up getting to where I'm at, and how I was able to supersede a lot of people because they didn't have the same grind or work ethic that I do.
I love that. I'm glad that you spoke about that, and it just let listeners know that you embrace the process, right? And you were able to not let your past determine your future.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Brad, you are passionate about motivating, inspiring, and empowering people all around the world to live their dreams. So please tell us more about your passion.
Man, my passion is literally trying to help people to see that it is literally possible. Whatever it is that you are imagining in your mind, the dreams and goals and aspirations that you have, if it popped up in your mind, and whether it was in a dream or you've been daydreaming or you just can't stop thinking about it, that was given to you. That was an image. That was something that was literally given to you that could literally be your reality if you actually take the action steps necessary to make it become a reality. I tell people all the time, I need you to dream with your eyes wide open, if that makes sense. Like, literally, if you want to have a certain thing, you can have it as long as you're willing to put the effort in. I've told a number of people that if you're persistent, you'll get it. But if you're consistent, you'll keep it. So if you look at it that way, whatever it is that you're dreaming about, that you want to have, and you just feel like it's too far-fetched, it's not. If you had that image that popped up in your mind, you can literally have it. You just have to put the work in to get it.
And that's so important, right? Putting the work in and being persistent and consistent, right? And I think a lot of people miss out on their dreams because they're not persistent and consistent, right? They start it, but they don't finish it. But that's the successful person is the person who does it regardless, right? Who puts the work in when nobody else is doing it, and is doing it despite what others are saying.
Absolutely.
So what are some strategies you would give to listeners who are aspiring to be a public speaker?
Well, not everybody is, meant to be a public speaker. Not everyone has the heart for it, because it's not glorious, it's not glamorous. You're not going to be in the spotlight, in the beginning. You're not going to get the big gigs in the beginning. It's going to be a lot of, groundwork, a lot of grinding, a lot of speaking in front of very small groups of people, but you need that. You need to be able to do that so that you can hone your skills and you can get the practice and you can get those 10,000 hours that you need to be able to master that skill set. So literally, if that's something that you want to do, the fast track to it is you got to get a mentor. You've got to find a mentor, somebody that will work with you and groom you and help you build your story so that you're not out there just kind of freelancing and just freewheeling it and just saying whatever first thing that pops into your mind. Like, you have to be able to actually tell your story and put it together in a structured format.
That's so important, finding that mentor, right? And understanding that, it's not for everybody, but for the ones that it is for, you have to find a mentor and have to be able to embrace the process that comes with it. So thank you for sharing that. And could you also speak on, when people, I think sometimes people automatically think they're supposed to be in the big room with 2,000 people when they first start off, and they're supposed to be in the big room with 10,000 people. So, what are your views on that? Because my thing is, it doesn't matter if it's 2 people, start somewhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You have to start somewhere. Now, the thing that, confuses some people is there are some people that fall into the category of a speaker or a motivational speaker because they've done well in a different area of their life. For example, you have somebody that's a politician or a lawyer or a doctor, athlete, retired athlete, whatever the case may be. And because they have some type of fame or stardom, then people push them into the category of a speaker, and that's not really what they should be doing. Or they then decide that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make this into my career too, and then because of the fact that they had an opportunity where it put them in front of a large group of people, they think every opportunity is going to be a large group of people, and that's just not true. Even some of the greats that of right now, they still take some smaller gigs because of the fact that not that they have to, but they do it because it's a part of who you are. Like, it has to be embedded in you. Like, you have to be a servant leader. So I don't care if it's 1 person or it's 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000. My job is to deliver the message to whomever is in the room. And some people just don't have the heart for it. They don't see it that way.
That is so good. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you. So what are some tips you would give to listeners who are afraid of public speaking? Because, you have some people who, they're just afraid to get out there and do it, right? What would you say to that person?
I would say probably one of the best things that you could do is get a mentor, get a coach, or you could take a class. You can go to a community college and take a public speaking class, and they'll help, work you through it, get you through the process. I was blessed in the sense that I've never had stage fright. I've never experienced it. I don't know what it is. I get butterflies before I speak, but it's because, not because I'm scared of the amount of people that's there. I'm concerned because I want to make sure that I deliver the message that is going to touch somebody. So I feel like, my reputation's on the line. I have an opportunity to get through to somebody, and if I don't deliver the message properly, then I miss the opportunity to help somebody.
I love it. For our listeners that are listening, it might be in that category, like you said, a mentor, a coach, or even take a class. But I don't want people to think, because you're afraid doesn't mean that you won't be a great public speaker one day. You might have to work a little harder than somebody that comes too naturally. Correct, Brad? That's my thought. Yeah.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time that, if you're having an issue with, going out, being a speaker, I tell people to literally stand right in front of me and tell me what is something that you love. And they're like, oh, this is confusing to them. Like, oh, something I love. What do you mean? It's like, this isn't a pop quiz or a test. What is something that you love? And, you know, somebody will say something, oh, football. Oh, I love cooking. I love food, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. All right, you love football or you love cooking. Tell me, what is it about football that you love? And then they'll start telling me about it. And I'm like, okay, see how you were able to relay that message to me? And you didn't stutter or stammer or you didn't have any issues with it at all, and you said it so confidently, it's because you love it. So find a topic that you love and then practice telling your story through that topic, and then that'll get rid of all the issues that you're dealing with.
I love it. And I also want to talk about, I know I saw one of your posts before, it was about a month or two ago, maybe a couple longer than that, and you were talking about how some people wouldn't let you get on their stage, but now they're asking to be on your stage. Let's talk more about that.
Yeah, it's funny how the tables turn.
Right.
But it's just because I was being my authentic self. Like I wear my hat with my logo on it. I wear my hoodie when I speak. I wear all black. That is me. And it's not because I'm trying to make some type of crazy or weird statement. I literally tell people, if you have a question about the way that I dress or anything like that, just ask me, why do I wear it? And I have no problem with explaining it. But in the beginning, people didn't understand it. They couldn't get past the way that I dressed and the way that I looked and the way that I spoke. And I spoke with too much bass in my voice, too much passion when I spoke to the kids or whatever. So they didn't, you know, they weren't on board with it. They didn't know, we don't want that message. We don't want that from that person, or we don't know who he is. We'd rather get somebody from out of state or another town because I'm not famous enough for you yet. I literally had somebody tell me once, oh, we can't have you come speak because you don't have 10,000 followers on Instagram. And I was like, What does that have to do with my message? There's plenty of people who have millions of followers and they can't speak worth of nothing. But you ready to empty out your bank account to give them this money. And I've literally seen that happen before, where people will lie and say they do X, Y, and Z, and they come in, they spend thousands of dollars on them, only to find out that everything that they spoke about was a complete lie. So I'm being my authentic self from the very beginning. I'm telling you my story from the jump so that you know what you're getting. And it literally just took me being consistent and them constantly seeing me going out and speaking and still wearing the hat, still wearing the hoodie, still having my logo on, still wearing all black, for them to be like, yo, he's not changing. He's not conforming. I'm like, no, I'm not conforming, and I'm not going to change because my message is clear. And if you don't want it, then cool. Maybe your group of people who I was trying to deliver the message to, they weren't my people in the first place, and that's fine. So what's going to end up happening is I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep working with the people who want to work with me and see the value in what I bring, and I'm going to go to the places that value me, that value my work, right? So it's not one of those situations where they feel like, oh, he's such a hindrance. Like, okay, I guess we'll let him speak. I guess we'll let him enter our community. No, I'm going to go to the people that are welcoming me with open arms, saying that you are something that we actually need for our kids and we need in our schools and we need in our community. And what ultimately ended up happening was the same people that were saying no and pushing me away are now the same people that are, turning around and saying, wow, you worked with Verizon, you worked with Apex Fund Run, you worked with nonprofit organizations, you were you were in all these different colleges, you were at Villanova, Kean University, TCNJ. Like, I can just keep on naming it. So many different places that I've spoken and so many things that I've done, Cablevision, like so many things that I've done that now they're coming back and saying, wow, okay, he's done all this work and he never changed his look. He never changed his style. There must be something to it. And the only difference is now is where I was going to give you a discount or I was even willing to do it for free. Now I'm charging you full price.
That's right. That's right. Because, you have to know your value first. And thank you for being your authentic self, right? I think listeners have to remember that. Like, be your authentic self and understand that God will make room for you and where you're supposed to be. As long as you be who you are, and, be genuine about who you are, like you said, and actually, don't let people try to change what you are about, right? What your brand is about. So thank you. I commend you for doing that.
Oh, no, you definitely don't have to thank me.
Yeah, because I know, a lot of people want to change the way they are to be on certain stages, and that happens a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some of the pros and cons of public speaking?
Let's see. I'll start with the cons, I guess. The cons are with being a speaker. I believe that people tend to think that you're just kind of doing it, just to help the community. Like, that's just it. And it's like, oh yeah, he's just supposed to go out and help. And I'm like, okay, this is a business though. Like, this is also a business. Like, this is how I provide for myself and for my family. So yes, I do have to charge for X, Y, and Z. Or yeah, you got to buy some books, or you got to buy some shirts, or whatever. And use you, for everything that they possibly can. And when you witness that, you get a hold of it. You're like, oh my God, it starts draining. The pro is just seeing like the joy on like the people's faces, the kids, like you seeing young kids who. I literally just had somebody say to me at Kean University when I spoke, and you spoke wearing a hoodie, because I could see myself in you. Because I could literally see myself in you, and like it makes me understand that I can have my own business, I can do my own thing, and I don't have to change. Like, I can do this, and I can do it my way. And just being able to be an impact on people's lives. That's it, and doing it my way.
That's powerful, right? It's powerful that he was able to do that. And that's what you want your audience to be able to see, right? They want to be able to relate to you. And I think sometimes people forget that part when they're speaking, right? You want to be able to make sure you know your audience and that you're able to relate, and that for them to be able to relate to you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk more about, I know you're building multiple tables for yourself. So I asked all of my guests this question. How did you create your seat at the table?
Oh, man. The funny thing is, and I know not many people, a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but all I can be is my authentic version of myself. There was a lot of, there's a lot of doors I kicked in. There's a lot of, networking events that I was not invited to, and I just showed up, or I snuck in through the back door, or whatever, or I finagled my way in there. But my thing was, I'm going to get it by any means necessary. Like, I'm not going to do anything illegal. I'm not going to do anything to hurt nobody. But I'm going to do what I got to do. And if you don't like me, that's fine. I don't care. Like my family is on the line. Like, my legacy is on the line. So if I got to kick, scratch, and yell to get what I need, then it is what it is. So I'll do as many speaking engagements I got to do. I'll go wherever I got to go. I'll travel. Some people might think, oh, man, why are you spending your money? I've spent thousands of dollars on mentorship, or on just programs, on just information itself, just to learn more, just to get myself in the position so that when I have the opportunity, that I know what to say and I know what to do. So it's literally just me being willing to put myself out there and, put my body through whatever it takes, whatever it means as far as sacrificing. If I'm eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day, then that's what I'm eating. If I'm only drinking water from the faucet, then that's what I'm doing. And just taking my last bit of money to put it in, to gas tank back, when things were really rough in the beginning. It just was what it was, the accounts in the negatives, but I'm still showing up doing speaking engagements, like I'm rich. But it's just doing whatever you have to do until you get invited to the table. And then another thing with that is, when you get invited to the table, you need to realize that you have just as much of a stake to be at that table as anybody else. So if you were invited to sit at that table, you're supposed to be there. So that's what I got from those situations. Is just that, hey, once I did the work, where people started to recognize me, it's like, Brad, you deserve to be here. You're supposed to be here. You put the work in. man, and it's crazy. And I'm just kind of really starting to become comfortable with that.
Well, I like how you shared. You was very honest about how you created your seat at the table, right? And you went to the back door, but you was gonna make sure that you got to the table. So.
Oh, and I do it again.
Yeah,
and I do
thanks for sharing.
if I had to.
So we all have a process, right? And a lot of people don't like the pain. They don't like to embrace the process. They want the accolades, but not the process. So, what did failure teach you on your journey?
Ooh. Well, the thing that most people don't understand is that you don't learn anything from the wins. Like I said it a while back. That if you've ever ran into like a sports team when they're on a hot streak, they're winning. They're not taking any losses. They're just winning. They're dominating, and then they just run into that one team and they just hit them with something that they weren't expecting. Like a lot of times that team goes downhill. They have a full meltdown because they weren't learning anything through the winning process. They were going back to, to practice like, oh, well, whatever we were doing before was the right thing. So we just going to keep on doing that. We ain't got to switch nothing up. We ain't got to change nothing. And then you take the loss and you're like, yo, what happened? Like, how did this happen? I thought we were so good or whatever the case may be. But when you're taking losses, you're always going back to the drawing board. You're always trying to fix it so that you don't experience that same loss again. Now, you might take a loss in a different area or in a different way, but you're going back to the drawing board to make sure you're not repeating the same mistakes over and over again, so that when you get to a situation like the championship, the conference championship, the Final Four, whatever the case may be, when you get to that situation, you're like, we've already taken some losses. So if you are losing in the game and you're in the fourth quarter and you're down a couple points, you're like, yo, I know what to do because I've been here before. I know how to fight back. Whereas other teams, they're like, we don't know what to do. We've never been down before.
I love that. And that was a great way to explain it, because you're right. Failure is part of teaching us how to appreciate what the accolades and the accomplishments that come with it, and to make us help us to stay humble at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
So what does success teach you? Because you're very successful, Brad.
Success teaches you that you're not immune from just because you have some money or you have some fame or some notoriety, that does not mean you are not going to deal with different forms of adversity. They say, different levels, different devils. So, so the forms of adversity that, maybe someone who's just getting started in the speaking game, what they're dealing with right now, I'm maybe past that. I may know how to handle that right off the cuff. But there are other things that I'm dealing with right now that they're not dealing with, and they don't see it and don't think that, oh, they're going to, have to deal with that. But no, you're going to. Once you get to a certain point, you're going to have to deal with, certain forms of adversity, certain difficulties. It's just different things that are going to happen on a much larger scale or a bigger level. So you might be complaining, oh, man, I can't get people to show up for this event or whatever the case may be. It's some small event or whatever that you're doing. I can't get people to show up for it. And that's in the beginning. But when you start going up to higher levels, you start getting up to the higher ranks as far as the speakers go, and they start filling, hotel, the auditoriums, hotel conference rooms, and, stadiums and stuff like that. The different level of adversity is something you can't even match that to. That's why you got so many people that are stressed out and, they got anxiety and stuff like that, because they're taking it to a whole nother level. So when you when the money grows, so does the stress, and so does the adversity that comes with it. And you have to be ready to deal with it, because if you don't, then that's how, survival of the fittest. That's how you figure out who's forward tough.
And that's something that I want to ask you before we go, is about what are your thoughts on speaking for free? Because, people have their different thoughts on that, and then you have some people that are just getting into public speaking, and they feel, some people think they should start off charging probably way more than they are, as far as their level, than they should. So do you think that people should start off, speaking free until they get their foot in the door and, get their foot wet, or should they start off with a speaker's fee?
I'll tell you like this: the market is going to tell you what you're worth. You can go out there and try to demand $5,000 off the bat if you want to. Go ahead. and let's see what the market says. Now, if the market is willing to give it to you, if the market says you're worth $5,000, then there you have it. You're worth $5,000. But if you're just getting started and you go out there and, you're demanding that, but you're not getting it, then that tells you you're not worth $5,000. You might want to knock that thing down. And I'm talking about you probably want to knock it all the way down until someone is saying, okay, yeah, we'll give you 100, we'll give you 200. Because I started the very first time I spoke and got paid, I didn't even ask for any money. I was just going out doing pro bono work. I was just building up my resume. And that's another thing. Because I've done so much work for free, my resume is so long right now with all the speaking engagements and all the video content that I have. I haven't released half of all the videos that I've done and all the places that I've spoken at. Nowhere near it. But I'm still continuing to speak. I'm just getting more and more content, going. I don't know if I'll ever catch up to that. But I'm just going and going and going. But there's people who come out and they're like, oh, I want to get paid right now. I started off doing it for free because I needed to build my catalog. But the first time I ever got paid, I got paid $50, and I didn't know I was going to get paid. Somebody just, put me on the schedule and let me speak, and then gave me $50 and said, hey, kid, you did a great job. I was like, oh, but to me it was everything. I ran home and told my wife and was holding it in the air like it was a golden ticket. Waving it like, oh, we finally got paid. My wife was excited. She was like, oh, my God, you did it. You got paid to speak. And I'm like, oh, I did it. So the market said, okay, I'm worth $50. I can start at $50. And then it went from $50 to $150 to $250 to $300 to $500 to $800 to $1,000 to $1,500 to $3,000. So it was like, that's how, I started off. I was just like, okay, I got to figure out, what do I feel confident saying? And especially after you start doing the work and you're going out there and you know that your skills are getting tighter, your story is getting tighter, and you're making an impact, and you're getting those roaring standing ovations at the end of a speech, it's like, okay, I got it. And you're getting the testimonies, and you're like, okay, I got it. I'm getting there. Maybe I'm not at the top of the class, and I got a long way to go, but I know I'm worth this much right now.
And you know what, for our listeners that are listening, I hope that you were able to get something from what Brad was stating about that speaker's fee and speaking for free, because I know that has been a big topic, for a while, people trying to figure out, and then some people are against that, which, to each his own. So I'm glad that you broke that down, because it's not a bad thing to speak for free, especially when you just get into the game. So. Yeah, absolutely. In this game, if you are a speaker, you are a servant leader. Your job is to serve the people first. If you've gone into it and the only thing on your mind is the dollar amount, how much can I get paid, leave, because you're saturating the market and you're making it bad for the people who really want to do this, and you're giving it a bad name. So that actually kind of it gets on my nerves when people do that. I'm like, don't even come near me with that, because I'm here to serve the people. I want to help people. Yes, I have a price that's attached to it, but I give, and then I ask. So if I'm charging a certain amount for me to come in and do 45 minutes and question and answering at the end and signing books and taking pictures, then I'm going to show up early and I'm going to leave late. So I'm going to make sure that you get everything that you possibly could out of the amount that you paid me. So I don't want anybody to ever think that, oh, he came and he left and whatever. No, I'm not rushing the process. I'm going to stay here and we're going to do this the right way. And whatever else it is that you might need from me, let me know. I'll be happy to help. But there's other people who just, they terrorize the game. They mess it all up for people, and they come in and they only thinking about themselves. They come in through the door with a check. Hold on. I'm like, I had somebody do that to me before. They come in, oh, here you go. I just wanted to make sure you got your check. No, I haven't spoken yet. Don't give me the check yet. Let me get on the stage. Right. Let me earn it. I'm like, Let me get on the stage and let me earn it. Yes, let you earn it, right? That's the key thing.
Absolutely.
I love that. So, Brad, we are in the fourth quarter, and I know you're going to finish it strong. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019?
I'm actually just finishing up my tour for October, and I'm going to see what I'm going to put together for November. I know I have 4 engagements right now for November, but when I started my tour in October, I had 7 speaking engagements, and then by the 18th, I had 13 altogether. So it can literally just change overnight, because you start getting people calling you and sending you messages and saying, hey, could you come? Could you fit us on your schedule? No problem here. All right, well, what's your budget? All right, let's send a contract. Let's get that taken care of. All right, boom, check in the mail. All right, cool. All right, we got that done. Let's get it. Or some stuff where it's like, hey, Brad, we really could use your help. Could you come by? And I'll just go out there and do something pro bono. No problem. I just come in. The only thing I ask is, can I just make sure I record myself? Yeah, no problem. And I come and I do the work. So that's my thing. It's always about doing the work. It's always about constantly moving, because the momentum is what you need, and you got to stay hot. So that's my thing. I'm always looking for different opportunities to go out and to be of service, to be of value, to make an impact somewhere, because somebody needs it somewhere.
Yes, and I commend you on all the great things that you're about to birth in the fourth quarter. You consistently do some amazing work, and you're always giving back and reaching back and pulling forward. So I can't wait to see all that God has for you in the rest of the fourth quarter and walking into 2020.
Yeah. And I'm just as surprised and as anybody else is, because I literally just was recognized by the state of New Jersey for I got I think it gave me like six different awards, where I was recognized by the state of New Jersey and Newark and Essex County for my work as a motivational speaker, and it was something that I did not see coming, and I'm just so thankful and humble, for that. So a huge shout out to New Jersey for all they do and for recognizing me. It's just something I never would have imagined in my wildest dreams, but I'm extremely thankful and humbled by all graces to go to God for that.
I love it, and you deserve it, Brad. You deserve it. Like I said, you are a hard worker, and you consistently are, breaking doors down. You are. Every time I see your profile, you're somewhere, you're traveling. Are you on a stage somewhere?
Listen, I'm trying. I am definitely trying, and I plan to do as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, so please tell our listeners how they can follow you on all social media platforms and connect with you.
Well, easiest thing for you to do is go on Google and type in Brad Butler II. That would be 2 capital I's for the second. So if you Google me, all my contact information will come up. But if you want to find me on Instagram, it's B_RAD Inspires. On Facebook is B-Rad Inspires. YouTube is B-Rad Inspires, so B-RAD Inspires. I do a weekly motivational video for my video series, which is called LITMO. And it's an acronym that stands for Life Intentional Transition Motivation. So every Wednesday we have that. So go like and subscribe to that, trying to build up that platform. And if you want to book me for any speaking engagements, then you can just email me and the team at contact@b-radinspires.com. And in the very near future, down the pipeline, I have my program, which is called the Young CEO Academy, which teaches the youth how to start their own business or the importance of ownership.
I love it. So connect with Brad. He is definitely somebody to know, somebody to connect with, and somebody to network with. So, Brad, thank you for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule to come to the table. This has been an amazing interview, and I cannot wait to invite you back.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a humbling experience and an honor and a pleasure.
All right. And I look forward to continuing to work with you in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. So
Thank you. Have a great night.
You are welcome. I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins Marquis and John Schamberger. I would also like to give a special thanks to Author Kimberly McLemore and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University and my intern Vontaria from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.